Over 30 years since his death, my journey had brought me to understanding how much of my life has been about denying my true feelings for my dad. The most obvious, natural feelings in the world. That I loved and missed him when we were estranged. When he died suddenly, I had absolutely no understanding of how I could possibly come to peace with those feelings buried deep inside. So I pushed everything down even deeper. I recognize now how many of the times I was depressed or in despair, it was because I had trapped all of my natural impulses, created a cage from which I just couldn't escape. It had been just over a year since I experienced a spiritual awakening in Aji Spa in Arizona. In some ways, I was only a year old. When I visited the Semengo Reserve near Kuching in Borneo, I learned about all the ways they teach orangutans to be free again. The oldest, Sudoku, is 46 years old, like me, and after 17 years of rehabilitation, a success, because she is semi-wild. I often think of her. In Matang, where the rehabilitation process starts for many of the animals, I saw an adult female leave her cage for food, which they hide all over the enclosure to teach the animals to forage. And then she sulked back next to the bars, waiting to be allowed back into the cage. Like the impulse that keeps bears pacing back and forth, even when they're in a natural enclosure with trees, they're too scared to climb. I am practicing being myself after decades of practicing not being myself. I am constantly reminded of the words at the end of Highlander when he becomes mortal, the price for chopping off everyone else's heads. You are years being born, and you will be years dying. As much as I can, I am following my heart, my natural impulses, while I reconnect with society or civilization. I will eventually come to a place where I can see the edge of civilization every day. So perhaps I am just now semi-wild, still figuring out how to be me in a world where we all need a little ego, unless we move into a naked, free-for-life ashram. Or maybe this is not the end, and I will find a way to live freer than this. But if this is all there is, if this is semi-wild, I think me and Sudoku are very, very lucky to have come this far. And now my journey shifts. It's felt so many times as if the journey is all about me, as if I'm being led places which will help me heal. But now I become the supporting character in other people's stories, part of their healing, even if it is costing me. I understand this is just part of the shamanic journey. It's all part of serving the universe, the intention I set standing atop a mountain in Hawaii. And I lean into that, trusting that wherever I go, whatever I do, every step, even my mistakes, are perfect. I am drawn to people who have questions I can answer, just as others constantly pop up and give me what I need in the strangest of places. But because so many of these stories are about others, I won't share them all. So if you sense a gap in the story, a moment when I seem to disappear, or when things don't entirely make sense, it's just me being a superhero for a moment, before I reappear as a diligent reporter.